Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at King's Trial. King's Trial is brought to you by Laughing Hyena Games. It's for 2 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, and games range anywhere from 50 to 90 minutes. In a kingdom far away, there lived a king. This king was wise and beloved by all. He also loved his food and spent most of his time enjoying all the lovely delicacies that were produced in his realm. The king had everything, but one thing he lacked. He had no heir to his throne. But then a dragon appeared in the realm. The king couldn't get all his favorite delicacies anymore. The wise king thought and finally found a solution to solve both his problems. In King's Trial, you will take on the role of brave adventurers who will compete in the competition of their lives. After completing 3 quests and collecting a total of 25 gems, you can then adventure to the Dragon's Mount. The adventurer who gets to the Dragon's Mount first will be the winner of the game by successfully bribing the dragon. So one of the fun aspects of this game, especially for families, is the fact that you get to build out this world in every game. And it is part of the game. You're actually going to take turns placing tiles and building out the world. So this world will be different every time you play. Now you have standard tiles, obviously. You've got mountain tiles, you've got fields, and you've got forests. And those are going to be making up the bulk of the world. But you do have the main city where you'll start, and you've got the Dragon Mountain where you're trying to get to and complete the overall quest. Now along the way there's other things in here like portals, and there's different quest locations that you're going to be visiting, but it's really up to you how you want to build this world. And so there are several different decks of cards that you're going to be tapping into throughout the game, all with really fun, whimsical artwork of the fantasy world you're in. So you've got news, help, and truly help cards are going to help you along the way. You've got events that you're going to have to deal with as you travel across the land. You've got quests, which is your main goal, trying to get your 25 gems to finish those 3 quests in your hand. And you have the King's Favor, which are special, powerful cards going to, again, aid you in your quest. Now, each player gets a specific character. All the characters have their own special ability. And you have a couple tokens that will be placed on your character board. You have the track for your gems. It starts in the city, and you have your level track, which starts at 6. Each player is dealt 5 help cards. You only get to keep 3 of them, so choose wisely. The other 2 are shuffled back into the main deck. Now, this is where you'll also get your 3 quest cards, and then you're pretty much ready to begin. All the characters will start in the main city. And then we move to the adventure phase of the game. Several steps here, but the first one, well, except for the very first round, in every subsequent round you will pull a news card, and this is known as the King's Courier. It's a news piece that comes out that affects everyone in the world. And the first thing you're looking at is where the dragon currently is, as it is moving around the map. In this case, it's going to be in the forest. So if you are in a forest, or you move into a forest, you're going to have to pay the dragon a gem, or you might happen to have a help card known as Gold Dust, which allows you to move that dragon off to some other adventurer, forcing them to pay the gold. But it also has a weather condition. In this case, there's a lightning storm. So traveling in and around near the lakes is impossible for this game round. And then it's time to travel. You're gonna have to be scouring this world, trying to fulfill your quests. Every round of the game, you get to move 3 spots. There's different terrain types that you have to take note of, and the different characters have advantages in different terrains. Some of the terrains, like water, might slow you down where you have to just stop your turn. Or you might come across a portal that'll allow you to teleport to somewhere else on the map. Or if you come to a quest spot, hopefully it's a quest that you need to fulfill. If it is, then you'll flip your card over, show it to everybody at the table, you'll collect 5 gems, and you will go up 1 level on your board, which will help you in events, which we'll take a look at next. So there are several quest spots on the board. They're all clearly marked. You have things like aerodomes, you've got amphitheaters, you've got Yeti Ice, but in general, if you end your turn on a non-quest spot, well then you have to pull an event card. An event card you have to deal with. Hopefully you can defeat it by the level that you are, as well as rolling dice, or using your help cards to contribute to your level to defeat the card. Now, in the top left corner is the number that you have to defeat. Now, if you're not high enough to defeat it, well, hopefully there's a team up option on the right side of the card. It'll generally be a higher number, but you can get others at the table to team up with you. And if you do, well, then you have to share in the spoils, obviously. It's a negotiation for sure. Now, if you fail to succeed in the event, well, then generally there will be text at the bottom describing what happens. But if there isn't text, then you're going to lose a gem or help card, things like that. But at the bottom of the card, it also shows you what the benefits are to succeeding. In the case of this card, you're going to get 2 gems and 2 help cards. So as you travel throughout this world, you're going to have to be engaging with and dealing with all these different events that come up. So there's also ways to run away or escape. Now in the production version of the game, the dice will have a printed dragon's eye. And if you've rolled the dice and the eye comes up, well then you will immediately run away. But you do have the option, if you're in battle, to roll it one more time, hoping to succeed and grab those spoils. Now some of the cards will choose to ignore you if you're below level 10. So you keep an eye on that as well as you're dealing with the different events and so forth. But of course, you'll collect the spoils. And in the case of help cards, you can ever only have 5 in your hand at any one time. So there might be some tough choices as you get new cards and so forth. So also you want to make sure you mark off the gems that you got and all the different spoils that if you teamed up, you have to split amongst the other players. So I've talked about help cards a few times now, and the thing here is they're not just about helping you with events. Obviously the big one here is help is here. It's a +5 when you do have to deal with an event. But there's other things like you might find treasure, or you might have a captured card, which is a bit of a take that to other players in the game, forcing them to move back in their quest along this world. But the thing is that there's also ways to use a magpie to go steal gems from other players. So it's not just about dealing with events. And there's even shortcuts, there's maps that you can find and things like that as well. So help cards are going to do all kinds of different things, but you obviously will need them in certain instances for all those different events. So the last thing you're going to do in your turn is decide if you want to buy a King's Favor card. And you're going to have to spend a gem to do this, but these are super powerful. You're tapping into the King's Guard basically, and you're going to be able to move across the map faster, or it might give you a decisive blow in battle. And in the case of this card, I love this one, the Cavalry is here. And this is Sir Squeaky. It will basically just chase away the enemy, giving you all the rewards and benefits. But these cards can only be used once when you do have them in hand, and you can continue to buy them as the last thing you do in your turn. But they are super powerful and not to be ignored. It is worth spending gems, indeed. And so you'll continue this way till one or multiple players have finished all 3 of their quests and achieved 25 gems. And then it's a race. Who can get to the dragon mount first? And whoever does will win the game and be the next heir to the kingdom. All right, folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here has been in prototype form. So keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now with that said, this really is a nice family weight game. And even though there is take that, I mean, you're stealing gems from others and forcing them to go back and things like that. But in general, I mean, you're definitely working together at times and trying to fulfill the different needs of events that come up. Now, I really like the artwork. Super fun, super whimsical, and just the different types of things that happen based on the cards that you have are really fun. But folks, ultimately, if this looks like something that would be of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it for me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.